Good morning and welcome to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter, the show that takes a look at the events and what's happening all around Putnam County, as well as interviews with local, community, and business leaders. And now, sharing his insights and experience, here's Today in Putnam County with County Mayor Randy Porter.
Good day, and thanks for joining us this week for Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great weekend. Our show this week, it's about one of the most important parts of our body. It's our eyes. So many new procedures and technology when it comes to eye treatment today. I wanted to do a show to talk about that. And for someone who's wore glasses since they were 7, I love hearing about all the great things that are out there today that we can help with our eyes. So my guest this week is an expert in that field when it comes to eyes, and that's Dr. Alissa Hudson. She's with Middle Tennessee Eye. Good morning, Alissa.
Well, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How about you?
Fantastic.
So before we get into all the eye procedures and all the new technology and things that are going on with eye care, I wanted to talk a little bit about you and how you got into this. And so, I was looking at your bio, and you went to the University of Alabama, UT Med School, Vanderbilt, Harvard, Emory. You got all this education, but take us back to before that. What made you want to get into the medical field, specifically with eyes?
Well, it's pretty simple. My father was a plastic surgeon in Chattanooga, and he started the fellowship program there and the burn unit. So he was always in it, and he had a passion for medicine. He really did. So we'd come home, we'd have dinner, and we'd talk about the fun stuff he did that day, what a case or, an interesting surgery he had. And we all my 2 older brothers also fell in love with medicine. So the older 2 brothers actually went into plastic surgery also, and they're in Miami. But then I decided I liked eyes enough that's the way I went.
So family thing then.
Oh, yeah. Mom thinks she's a doctor sometimes, too. So.
She shed all the knowledge from the dinner table,
She's
right?
had enough years of experience just hearing about it. So, yes.
Miami's kind of the
mecca of
plastic surgery, isn't it?
It is, and they love it down there.
Wow. So, eyes... You come to Cookeville to open your practice. So how did all that happen? Why?
So really one of my big draws, even in high school, college, was the brothers really got grossed out by eyes. They don't like to touch it. They still don't. They'll even call me about cases that they have issues with and ask me about the eyes. And so anyway, that drove me into it and got my interest going. And I love it. Even when I started medical school, that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go into eye surgery and eye care, and it's just a passion.
So you weren't originally from Cookeville, right?
No, I'm originally from Chattanooga, born and raised, so not too far down. So met my husband in Chattanooga. He went to boarding school from Macaulay. He's from Carthage. So he had a company up here. And so we dated since high school and finally got married. And after residency, I was able to move up here and start practice.
Wow.
And I love it because it's close enough to my family in Chattanooga, and his family is here, and we got a good support system, and the community is wonderful and exactly what we've always wanted.
How long you been practicing now?
22 years.
Wow.
I didn't think I was that old, so yes, 22 years now.
You started when you were 10, right?
A little Doogie Howser, but yeah, straight off the bat. So. And
your practice has boomed. Did you ever think when you started it that it could grow and be as big as it did?
No, because honestly, so when I got here, I graduated from Vanderbilt residency program and joined up with Colby Stewart. Well, I never really thought I'd want to own my own business. I just thought I'd work. And that's what I like to do. I like to work. I like to do the eye stuff. But he wanted to get out, and that's when I bought the practice from him 19 years ago now, and started my own practice and just have grown it from there.
It's unbelievable with Middle Tennessee High how it's grown. So in thinking about yours, I know it's competitive. You've got other folks that are doing the same thing, but is it just me, or maybe there's more of us, but it seems like there's more eye issues today than there used to be. Is that just a fallacy with me, or is that true?
Well, first of all, the population is aging a little bit, so there are more people that have more eye issues.
Baby boomers.
Yes, the baby boomers are hitting, so that's part of it. But also the technology of ophthalmology has gotten so much better. Even ophthalmology used to be actually EENT, so it used to be eyes, ears, nose, and throat. And then the eye part got so big, they split those into two. So now there's ENT and ophthalmology, and they used to be one. That's how much the technology has grown. So we know a lot more about disease processes and medical treatments for macular degeneration or diabetes or any kind of thing like that, or even the technology for cataract surgery stuff has gotten so much better. But in the last 20 years, there's been leaps and bounds of all kinds of facets with ophthalmology.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about a lot of that in today's show. You're listening to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. We're talking with Dr. Alissa Hudson of Middle Tennessee Eye. And today's show is all about the eyes and all the new technology and treatments and things that are out there. Listen, I remember going to the eye doctor, I think when I was 6, maybe, or 7, and I was raised in Macon County, not far from your husband over in Smith County, but we had to go to Nashville. There wasn't a local eye doctor there, and so went to Nashville, and, you go in, you did a simple eye chart exam. They dilated your eyes where you couldn't stand the sunlight for a day, ahead of time, and, they figured out what you needed, and I started wearing glasses. I remember going to the room to pick out the frames. I had maybe 3 choices.
It's grown a bit.
The big black ones.
You're right.
And wore those for years. But, now when I go to have my eye checkup, they're doing all these tests and they're checking pressures and they're doing these retina scans. That just amazes me at the technology that's come about today in eye care. And I want us to talk about some of that. So routine eye exams today, it's not just about can you see the chart, but you're doing all these other tests, right? So
when you think about this, there's a medical exam and then there's a refractive exam. So if you come in and you just wanted to get your glasses, your contacts, do that kind of thing, that's just a refractive. But now it's developed so much into the medical aspect that we can pick up disease process early, we can get them treated, genetic diseases. So now there's a crossover between these two different facets of ophthalmology. So you fix your vision, but you also maintain the health of the eye. And
that's not something years ago, I don't think that they weren't worried about the healthy eye.
Just being able to do like the ultrasound, I call it the ultrasound of the eye. You can see the different layers of the retina. There's 7 layers of the retina, and now we can see it to see if macular degeneration has started, or if there's a plaquenil toxicity, or if there's an early diabetic aneurysm that we need to find. So our technology has gotten so much better evaluating the health of the eye.
I was reading some facts off your website and doing some research, and pediatric eye care is gotten to be a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless I had told my mother probably that I was having trouble reading or seeing, I would not have been going to but I know my granddaughter, she just turned 8, and there was something required for her to take
screening.
Yeah.
I actually was involved with the development of the screening tool that they use nowadays with Dr. Donahue at Vanderbilt for all the school systems. So they get screened. But the problem is kids don't realize when there's a problem. They don't know what's normal. They don't know how to communicate it, and they don't know the difference. So they don't know what's good and bad. And so that's why the screening process for kids are so much better now in school, and that's why they need to have it done.
Well, it's better to start young, isn't it? And
because
start
you catch
treating.
it, and then you can develop a vision, because by age 9 or 10, if there's a problem, sometimes you cannot fix it.
Is there a point in our lives, I'm hoping to get there someday, but is there a point in our lives that our vision kind of stops decreasing or getting worse, or is that until the day you die?
No, it's not that your vision gets worse. Your vision can change depending on the musculature of the natural lens, I guess what you'd think, the accommodation. So when you get in your 40s and you start going, oh my gosh, I need reading glasses, that's the accommodation, that's the muscle power of the eye, and that slows down. So you're not getting worse, you're just not having the ability to focus as well as you used to. But you do plateau with the prescription. But your quality of your vision should be the same throughout your life, unless you get a disease process like macular degeneration or glaucoma or one of those guys. So you do plateau in the quality of your vision, and you should stay there unless there's other issues.
And medical, all kinds of
diseases. And that's why we start doing all of our screenings and stuff.
Right. We're talking with Dr. Alissa Hudson. We're talking about our eyes today, and we're going to hit the new technologies and treatments and all those new things coming up in the next segment. Stay with us. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
And now, back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. I hope you're having a great weekend. Our show this week, it's about one of the most important parts of our body, our eyes. So I want to do a whole show on all the new treatments and procedures and technology and everything there is out there today to help us with our vision. I got one of our local experts on the show today, and that's Dr. Alissa Hudson with Middle Tennessee Eye. Alissa, we've been talking about the basics. One thing that we were talking about during the break is diabetes. I mean, a really bad disease, but really affects the eyes, though,
it
too,
can
right?
absolutely be devastating.
Some new treatments with new medications and different things. Is that helping with the eyes and diabetes?
Oh, absolutely. So when patients get to a point they get proliferative diabetic retinopathy, when the blood vessels start to bleed and grow in the back of the eye, trying to repair the diabetic damage, it absolutely is a devastating disease at that point. It's still the number one cause of 30-year-old folks having blindness. So it's still number one cause in that age group. We have new medicines that you can inject that will target the diabetic pathology and improve it so that it'll quieten it down and even reverse the damage that's been done. Again, number one thing is still blood pressure and diabetic sugar control to get it under control, but our medicines really help tighten it down.
And with lots of new medicines out there today that are helping the diabetics control their sugar levels. I mean, it kind of started with the pumps and now
they're great. The technology for diabetic control is fantastic. All of those external, all the IT that you can do on your phone and the control of it, it is amazing. So if there's anybody that has trouble with it, those gadgets are freaking awesome.
I think some folks don't take that serious enough, though,
until they start hitting damage like neuropathy in their feet or eye issues or even heart attack, stuff like that. I mean, it's a serious disease.
I got a friend of mine that got adult onset diabetes, and he said, I never wanted sugars. I didn't like cakes or pies or all that stuff. He said, until I got diabetes. And then he said,
now I want it
now
all.
I craved it. I wanted it all.
Now you can't have it. Now you want it. It is. It's a crazy. But again, like the Mounjaro and the Ozempic, those things have gotten nice control over people's diabetes. Someone comes in, they've lost 30, 40 pounds, and it's a huge. They get off their diabetic medicine. They get off their blood pressure medicine. That stuff is great.
It's amazing.
It is.
For technology.
100% great.
It is. Let's talk LASIK.
Sure.
So I'm guessing probably one of your top things that I know LASIK's been around for a while, but there's multiple forms of it though, right? When it comes to LASIK?
There is. Basically, it's still all about the same way we do it, how we apply the laser and what kind of prescription you want out of your LASIK. But LASIK is absolutely awesome. Life-changing.
So talk about what you're actually doing to the eye with the LASIK.
So LASIK is for the folks that don't have any other issues going on, like a cataract. That's the only other thing. A cataract will impede your vision no matter what you do.
Okay.
So LASIK is for normally, anyone from 18 to 60.
Yeah.
Would be a fine candidate. LASIK, the way you do it, it changes the surface of your cornea, the topography of your cornea, and reshapes it so that your prescription comes out zero, or your prescription comes out where you don't have to wear reading glasses anymore. So LASIK literally is just you take off the little surface of the cornea, you do your laser to reform it the way you want it, get the prescription you want at it, put the little flap back over, and you literally can sit off the bed and read the clock on the wall. It is awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is a life-changing event.
And I hear of so many people that's doing it now, and you see them out in public, and you don't recognize them because they don't have their glasses
That's exactly
on.
Right.
And they went and had the LASIK. And
even for patients who have had cataract surgery who don't get the end result that they want wherever, they can come in and get LASIK and get their prescription cleaned up.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is almost no need for anybody to wear glasses with the technology of LASIK being out there.
It's got affordable over the years, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And so if you're interested in LASIK, it doesn't take long to do. Isn't it a quick procedure?
I'm telling you, 3 or 4 minutes and you're done.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It's one of the most fascinating things when a patient sits up off the table and they're like, oh my gosh, I can see the clock on the wall. I have not been able to see it almost ever. It's awesome.
Are you able to, with LASIK, are you able to correct both nearsightedness and farsightedness?
Not both in one eye. You can do one or the other. Monovision is awesome. Monovision is one eye distance and one eye near. So we always have people try it first to make sure they like it before you do LASIK. But that's how you get both visions out of doing your LASIK procedure.
Okay, so one eye is going to see close up and one eye is going to see in the distance.
That's monovision, one eye distance, one eye near. So your dominant eye will be your distance eye, and your non-dominant will be your reading eye.
And your brain comprehends all that, and it all works.
It just meshes the vision, and it does fantastic.
That is amazing.
I even do that with some of my women with cataract surgery. They want to be out of their glasses completely, and they want to go with the kind of the standard lens, and you can do one eye distance, one eye near.
That is amazing. Like one is doing one and one's doing the other.
The brain just adapts. It's great.
So is cataracts still a big thing?
Oh, yeah. So that is the number one cause of blindness in the world still.
There's no treatment for that other than taking the cataract out, right?
People hear about these vitamins that you can take. Yeah. Those are hobblegosh.
So don't waste your money on those.
No, don't waste your money on any kind of stuff like that. A cataract is where the natural lens gets insoluble proteins built up, and you can't see through it. So what it does is it refracts the light, and that's where you get the glare and the halos at night.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more light to be able to read at night, or like a smudgy spot in your vision that you don't maintain the clarity because the lens is not clear anymore. I always describe to my patients, it's like a dirty windshield in your car. I need to take that dirty windshield out and put a clean windshield right back in with as close to your prescription as I can get it, and then you'll see wonderful.
And that's a pretty simple procedure
that's
right?
how I describe a cataract surgery.
Yeah. And with cataracts now, most insurance companies cover cataracts,
yes,
right? Yeah.
They absolutely do.
So I had a friend that she had the cataract surgery, but I guess she got implants or something?
Everybody gets an implant.
Okay.
You decide what implant you want, what you want your outcome to be. That's what helps us choose what implant would be best for you.
So she got the one, I guess, where
you don't have to wear anything.
Yeah, she didn't wear any glasses
One of the advanced
anymore.
technology lenses, they're fantastic.
And so it's like having
forever
bifocals or trifocals or whatever, but they're in your eyes, right?
Some people, it's hard to describe it like that, but there are the multifocal rings gives you distance and intermediate and up close. And what I tell you is when you do one of those lenses, 97% of your rest of your life, you will never pick up a pair of glasses again.
That's amazing.
They are amazing. Now, there are different multifocal lenses out there depending on if you're a big driver at night, you want one with low glare. If you're tall, the Vivity lenses work wonderful for that. If you want super fine detail to be able to cross stitch, the Panoptic lens is fantastic for that. So it really depends on what you want out of your vision for me to guide you to what implant you get.
Got all of these options today that never had before.
Oh, and fixing astigmatism. That's another big thing. People who have a lot of astigmatism, there's an implant specially for just neutralizing that astigmatism.
I got one.
I'm telling you. And it fixes it like that. I mean, it's great.
I've got to come see you then
because once you get it done, you are done literally for the rest of your life because your prescription doesn't change. So it's an investment. It is a fantastic investment. It's probably one of the best things you can do because that lens will be good for you for the rest of your life.
That's the reason I wear glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I had that stigmatism since a kid, and there was just no treatment, other than wearing glasses. And then I years ago looked at LASIKs, and they were, I don't know if we can make that work or not. And I couldn't wear contacts and all this kind of things. But now there's a surgery. So if you got that stigmatism.
That's right. It will neutralize that astigmatism.
That's amazing.
It is literally in this day and age, there's to a point that no one should have to wear glasses.
That is amazing.
Either fix it by LASIK or implants or whatever. We can fix it. You're never in a corner.
You heard it from the expert, Dr. Alissa Hudson. She's our guest today, and we're talking about eyes. She's with Middle Tennessee Eye. We got a lot more coming up. Also going to talk about some cosmetic surgery that they're doing now around the eyes. Stay with us. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
And now, back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thanks for joining us this week. Our show is all about our eyes and all the new treatment and technology that there is out there when it comes to eye treatment. We've talked about LASIKs, and we've talked about cataracts and glasses and all those kind of things. My guest this week is an expert here locally on your eyes, and that's Dr. Alissa Hudson with Middle Tennessee Eye. Okay, so Alissa, there's a lot more going on with the eyes now. It's not just you at Middle Tennessee Eye. I mean, y'all are growing. You got all these other things going on with even Vanderbilt and these other things. Tell us a little bit about the practice and how it's growing and future thoughts and stuff about it.
Well, we are absolutely growing. We have Dr. Ivani Finn, who's a retina specialist who comes down from Vanderbilt, and she's been coming for about 3 years now. And Shriju Patel came before her, and he was down here for probably about 7 years. So Vanderbilt's been involved with our practice probably 10 11 years years now, taking care of the diabetic patients, the macular degeneration patients, retinal detachments, those patients that have a significant need with the retina stuff. Along with that, then Pam Cosgrove has joined us. She's got 23 years of experience. She's fantastic. She's joined us back in May, and she is doing awesome. And then we have another optometrist, Kelly Martin, who she's fantastic. She does all the hard contact lens fittings, hard contact lenses, and she's doing a lot of pediatric patients.
Wow.
So we're doing that. And then I am hopefully expanding into the other part of my building to hopefully bring another MD down, another ophthalmologist, to start seeing more patients. The patients, there's such a need here in the community.
Absolutely.
For another ophthalmologist. I've got some folks down that hopefully will start to join me in the spring. I'm excited. We got big plans. It's fun.
Well, our community's growing.
Oh, yes.
We're getting all these folks moving here. We were getting estimates the other day that they think we're somewhere in 83 to 84,000 people just in Putnam County.
Oh, wow.
But you're not just serving Putnam County. You got all these surrounding counties. We become the regional hub for
absolutely
medical, eye, shopping, retail, all that kind of thing.
Well, you can see how much like Vanderbilt's helping with, with their oncology, their ophthalmology. I think they're doing pulmonology. I know they're doing a lot of stuff down here to help our community also. We have the need. We do. Have a huge need.
And you got all these counties surrounding us that don't even have a hospital.
100%.
So they're coming here. It's not just, when it comes to eye care anymore, it's not just about the actual eye. You're doing a lot with cosmetology when it comes to the eyelids and stuff. Uh-huh. Talk about that.
That's one of the things I love to do. Again, I was brought up in plastic surgery family with my dad and both my brothers. So we always did a plastics talk. So I love to do eyelids. So I always tell patients when their eyelids start to drape over their eyelashes, they block their peripheral vision like a blinder on a horse. You get it up out of the way, you can see better. Your insurance will cover that when it starts to block your peripheral vision. And that's what I do every Friday is I do lid day. Or people that have even tumors on their eyelids or the big chalazions, fix those or a droopy eyelid. That's what I do on Fridays. And it's awesome and it's rejuvenating the face and it does a great benefit.
So when you're doing the eyelids, are you actually cutting any part of the eyelid off, or you just...
Lord, yes.
So you're taking part of it out?
So all of this excess eyelid tissue above the lashes.
Yeah.
So you'd be amazed. I take off probably anywhere between a half an inch and 2 inches of eyelid skin on some patients because that's how much droop they've got. And again, it's folded, so it's actually double what a patient will think. They'll be like, oh my goodness. And again, I love it, and they look beautiful.
You see all these people. I've had some friends that's had it done, and you see them and you say,
they just look refreshed.
Yeah. Do you have something?
Most people will say, what did you do to your hair?
Yes.
Did you change your hair? Have you cut your hair? Something is different.
Something is new.
You just look fresh and it's happy. I mean, it's crazy. But that's the look you want to go for. I don't like the LA look where it's tight and flat and stiff. And you want to look natural and healthy, and just taking off that excess eyelid tissue is an easy way to do it. And there's nothing to it.
Yeah, and that other look you're talking about, the LA look, that's a fake look.
Well, it's not our culture here.
It's not.
LA has a different look than Miami that has a different look from us. Ours is just kind of a more refreshed, quiet, nice cleanup rather than like the Barbie doll stiff.
Yeah, you don't look and say, what did you do?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
No, Kenny Rogers. I'm sorry.
And it's not about lashes. You're doing brows, eyebrows, and stuff.
Yeah, you can lift a brow and lift it so they're not droopy. But normally it's the eyelids that cause most of the aging appearance or the excess. You can get some brow ptosis, and those are easy to fix too. But it's normally just the droopy eyelids. And then the puppy dogs look with the lower lids where the lower lids kind of droop down. That causes a lot of tearing. Tearing's another big issue that we kind of work on Middle Tennessee Eye. A lot of dry eye issue. We have a big dry eye clinic. So patients who have the burny, stingy, tired, achy eyes, patients come in and we'll fix that.
A lot of that stuff just comes with age, doesn't it, as we all
I say
get older?
Birthday candles and hormones, but you can say age, but I'll say birthday candles and hormones.
Birthday candles and hormones. Maybe that's a better way to say it. How do you keep up with all of this? I mean, as a professional in the eye care, I mean, are you going to seminars or I mean, is it difficult to try to keep up with all the new technology?
Well, it's normally with our academics. normally it's not hard to keep up with it. We always keep, with emails, with meetings, national meetings, international meetings. There's normally one international meeting we go to every year. Then there's one in Nashville that's fantastic that we go and see. Ascaris is another one, great one to keep up with all of the refractive cataract stuff. We just really, like any physician, you just have to keep up with the technology because it's changing every year, every day. The new medicines and new technologies, new procedures. That's just part of our profession. That's just what we have to do.
Right. Well, it just seems amazing at how much it's changed over the last few years with all the new technologies and everything coming out. So in your practice, other than people coming in for eye exams, when it comes to procedures, what's your number one procedure you do the most of?
Cataract is still number one.
Cataracts.
Cataract and LASIK and eyelids are my top ones. And then in clinic, just treating the dry eyes and chalazions. And it's still just, watching my macular degeneration patients or my diabetic patients. With my patients, I love the continuity of care. I get to take care of my patients over a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I've had patients who have been with me for 20, 22 years.
That's amazing.
It is. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I can remember you before you had kids.
Well, it's kind of like you stay with that same doctor, or you stay with that same, and you want to keep some folks that you trust and you want them taking care of.
And I tell patients that, finding a physician is like finding a mechanic. You got to find one you like and you got to find one you trust because that's all you can do.
It's amazing. One thing that maybe I missed out on this, but prescription sunglasses now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the other eye doctors the other day, and we were talking about I've got some new prescription sunglasses, and they were talking about the damage that the sun does to the eyes if you're not careful. I was raised on a big farm, Alissa. We didn't have sunglasses. But now I think I'm paying the price for that, am I?
Not really. Your natural lens is what absorbs UVA, UVB. If you get excessive amount, it can bother you, and that's where we think and maybe some macular degeneration kind of comes from. But your natural lens does protect you. And then United States does a nice job. It requires sunglasses to have UVA, UVB protection on them, period. So there is a caveat, yes, that you need to be protective about it, but it's not a number one, you have to wear 24/7.
Yeah.
So you haven't damaged your eyes.
Okay.
But yes, it is good to wear sunglasses and protect the eyes. Don't go out and look at a solar eclipse. Do anything crazy like that.
See some crazy people doing that, don't we?
Yeah, you do. And you see the retinopathy from it. And when we had retinopathy come in from it. So.
Final question.
Yes, sir.
If you didn't do what you do today, if you weren't involved in eye treatment, or what would you do? Is there something else out there that you think about in life that maybe that would have been a path I took?
No, so eyes has always been my number one.
Don't want to do plastic surgery with your brothers?
No.
Okay.
The only other thing I kind of looked at was infertility. I thought that would be cool. And then I also thought being veterinary medicine would be awesome. I love critters. I'm a big supporter of the critters around here. So
absolutely.
All the animals. And so that's just taking care of things, I guess, is my drive.
Hey, that's a gift.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a gift.
It's part of me.
And the rewards that you get from that are not financial.
Oh, and it's rewarding.
Yeah.
It's always rewarding.
It's in the heart. It really is. Thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. Love it.
That's our show for this week. I hope you join us every weekend for Today in Putnam County. I'm County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and may God continue to bless our great county.
You've been listening to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.